Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Grease Vision, and welcome to round number 7 of the TCR Sprint Car Series, live from the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. My name is Davis Warren. I am by myself again tonight, and it is good to be back with you guys after a little 2-week break. Very excited to be back here as checkers are out on this hot lap session. Getting ready to go into qualifying here for this event tonight. Yeah, I've been out for the past couple of weeks here, but actually been out at the Dirt Vision studio, the real broadcasting studio up in Concord, North Carolina, helping out with those broadcasts over when they were working the Dirt Car Nationals and whatnot down at the real Volusia Speedway. So just want to say thank you first of all to Nathan Ma and Logan Joyner for filling in for me while I've been gone. I really do appreciate those guys. They do what they do for absolutely nothing, and I just think the world of those guys for stepping in and just being helpful to me and just all they do. On that note, I'm super happy to be back here as there has been a lot of action the past couple weeks here in the TCR Sprint Car Series. Been a lot about the Australians the past 2 weeks with the Evolution Sim Shift team, mainly between Lockie Phillips and Henry Finson, two teammates, from down and under, not from the States here where a lot of our viewers and racers are. These guys are on their lunch breaks every day, I believe, if I know this correctly. But these guys are 1-2 in the points, dominating the series, winning a lot of races. And a big thing to note right now is that, as we've been going through this season so far, we have, it has been Lockie Phillips really dominating, but he's not the points leader. It is his teammate Henry Finson who has got a 55-point gap on the competition here. It is mainly about Henry Finson at the moment. He's been extremely consistent throughout the season so far. With Lockie Phillips, it's been a little bit of a challenge for him. I say a challenge. He's won many races, and I think what's been a little the only real hindrance to him so far in the season is that he went on holiday for a couple weeks earlier in this season, and he did start the races, but he did not. He wasn't at his home PC. I believe he was doing this off of a portable computer. And was just racing off a controller, just trying to salvage as many points as he could, and he had some good days. Those 2 races he was out, but nothing like being in your home seat, being up on your wheel, and being able to be in your comfort zone. So the battle for the points lead is very interesting as we've got 4 races to go here in the 2026 season. So it is Henry Finson with the points lead, Lockie Phillips in second with a 55. It was 55 points out. Matt Grimm, who we've talked about, who's just, we'll just say he has struggled all year long. He is 134 points out. And that's the only, or let me rephrase, it's not the only guys that have ran all the races. But Vince Gieri is in 4th, who did miss 1 race, but also had that huge win at Lima Land earlier in the season. He is in the 4th position, 156 points out of the lead. Then Matt Vitafer in 5th, 184 points out. So the max points you can score in a TCR Sprint Car Series race is 100. That is 15 points over second place. So anytime you win a race, you're gonna put a decent gap into the competition. The point system is it's not the Latford system, but it's designed with that in mind. You can tell as, the higher finishing positions have a much bigger gap in between those positions, but then the further back in the pack you go, it's going to be the gap between those positions is just a little bit less, and it's to help keep the field as tight as possible throughout the season. So again, 4 races to go here, and if Lockie Phillips can win out, he's going to have a big he's going to be able to close this gap, even if Henry Fenson, finishes second and scores max points throughout other aspects of each night. So we are just waiting out this session with about a minute to go here. Looking like we'll just have a couple of heat races here tonight, as we're looking at potentially just 11, I believe 11, maybe 12 cars here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It is 11 cars here tonight. Something to note with, we've been talking about Evolution Sim Shift here. They do have a third car. We just haven't spoken about them much, but it is their teammate, and let me make sure I remember the name. It's not a hard name to remember, but it's Greg Chandler. I believe that's the name. He has been... He runs with those guys. I don't think he started a race tonight, so that's going to be someone to really pay attention to as we grid here for heat number 1. So let's run through that grid here real quick for heat race number 1. Starting on pole will be the 91 of Matt Grimm. Second on the outside is going to be the 04 of Mason Heimbaum. Third in the number 94 car is Greg Chandler. Fourth in the number 93 is Kyle Dersham. Fifth in the 55 car is Kyle Smith. And rounding out your heat race number 1 is going to be the 151 of Trent Curtis. TCR Sprint Car Series Heat 1. Green flag, we're racing in heat race number 1 at Charlotte. Matt Grimm with a very typical jump on the field. Leads the way into turns number 3 and 4. He'll lead lap number 1, but here comes Mason Heimbaum. Mason Heimbaum working the outside early in this event, and I can tell you from real-world experience as those two hit the wall there off of number 2 that the red clay here in Charlotte is going to be pretty bottom dominant until this track is really worked in. As here he goes on the bottom, Mason Heimbaum with a big slider. Boom, contact there, whereas Matt Grimm is going to hang on to the lead for just a little bit longer, but Mason Heimbaum is there, and we have got a wreck with Trent Curtis. He will keep it collected and stay green. New second place runner, it is Kyle Dersham in the number 93 car. Excuse me, third place runner, Kyle Dersham. Number 94. Of Greg Chandler. And remember, in that Evolution Sim Sport car, bit of an unknown here tonight. Oops, sorry about that. We are working, I believe, just 2 laps to go here in heat race number 1. So we will see the white flag for Matt Grimm, really trying to get his season back on track. Third in points, trying to make a statement here tonight in Charlotte. He's going to win heat race number 1. Second will be Greg Chandler. Third, Kyle Dersham. Fourth, Mason Heimbaum. Fifth, Trent Curtis. And rounding out the heat race is Kyle Smith. Man, Mason Heimbaum really challenged for that lead on Matt Grimm early in the heat, but just pulled that slider and pulled a little too much there. Field is gridded as we roll off for heat race number 2. Starting on pole for this one is going to be the 99. I'm drawing a blank. Sorry, guys. Gavin Chatham. That's right. Starting second is going to be Henry Finson. Third, Lockie Phillips. Fourth, Matt Wiedefer. And rounding out this heat race will be, I believe, Aiden Thornberry. Sorry, guys. Producing by myself tonight. Green flag, we're racing in heat race number 2. And you saw Lockie Phillips already jumping to the bottom of the racetrack. John going to get the second position, going for the lead here on the first lap. And you saw his restart looked a little wide. It was a little suspicious. I'm not sure what race control is going to do with that. Might be legal, don't know. But look at this, the Evolution Sim Shift guys running second and third in this heat as Gavin Chatham is pulling away from these guys, making a statement. Talking about Evolution Sim Sport all season long, Gavin Chatham is here to say, not so fast. I am here as well. Coming to halfway this time by Gavin Chatham, Lockie Phillips, Henry Finson, Matt Wiedefer, Aiden Thornberry round out your field. Lockie Phillips, though, showing his consistency, staying close to the front of the pack, ripping the high line, and it looks like that second to high, that groove just before the top, might have a little bit of grip in it. As we are coming to the white flag in heat race number 2, Gavin Chatham, big time lead, sailing smoothly on the top of the racetrack. As he comes through 3 and 4, Gavin Chatham is going to win heat race number 2. Lockie Phillips second, Henry Finson third, Matt Wiedefer fourth, and Aiden Thornberry rounding out your top 5. Well, as we get ready for a warm-up, or excuse me, as we are warming up here, good time to preview what's to come here on Grease Vision. Let's ride along with Lockie Phillips here for just a quick second. Let's ride along with this guy as we preview the next 3 races to round out the 2026 season. Next week, we will be at Cedar Lake Speedway for the Twin Cities Showdown. That'll be Tuesday, February 24th. The week after that, on March 3rd, will be the Three Rivers 33 at the Lernerville Speedway. And to round out the season, it'll be the 4th annual Nittany Nationals at the Port Royal Speedway. It's getting down to it. A lot of guys still in contention to try to win some races here. This championship is not over quite yet. As the guy we're riding along with here really wants to stick it to these Evolution Sim Sport guys. Matt Graham has shown a lot of consistency. I know we had some trouble last week, but I think he's trying to put things back together, trying to build the season, put it together as much as possible. And I'll tell you, if he can win some races here, have some good runs, get him a good amount of bonus points, try to charge the field every now and then. He's going to have something to say about this championship. It's not over quite yet. Because Lockie Phillips is vulnerable. It is possible for him to just have a rough night, as he did last week. Now, I hope that you guys are watching here live on Grease Vision on YouTube. YouTube having a little bit of issues right now, at least from my end. So, hope you're getting to watch here tonight. Hope you're at home relaxing on this fine Tuesday night, hanging out with us. We hope you're hanging out. Let us know if you're here. To be honest with you, I don't know that I'll be able to check the chat tonight. Just having a little bit of issues with that, but hopefully you guys are here. So, if there's any issues, sorry. I'm not going to be able to fix it tonight. Or at least I won't be able to hear you tonight. But hopefully YouTube will be functioning again next week. Well, the nighttime is the right time. This track is looking a lot more like its real-world counterpart. A little worn out. The sun is set. And we're ready for racing here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Let's run through the field for tonight's Queen City Nationals at the dirt track at Charlotte. Starting 11th. In the number 55 car, it is Kyle Smith. Starting 10th in the number 8. From Munford, Tennessee for Full Throttle Racing, it is Aiden Thornberry. Starting 9th. In the number 151, Trent Curtis Racing car from Clarence Center, New York, it is Trent Curtis. Starting 8th. In the number 81 Blaster car, it is, for Trent Curtis Racing, it's Matt Wiedefer. 7th, the number 04 car from Pleasant Hill, Iowa, it is Mason Heimbaum. Starting 6th, the number 93 car, it's Kyle Smith. Starting 5th, the 93 is Kyle Dersham, starting 4th. It is Henry Finson. 3rd, Greg Chandler. 2nd, on the pole is Matt Grimm as we are racing. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Horrendous call by me. Gavin Chapman has started 2nd. Heat race winner. Whoa! Trouble! And boy, did we catch the right on board. Wow. This is going to shake some things up. As we have our first incident of the night, and it involves the leaders. Oh my goodness. Big pile up there. Oh, and more cars are involved. That must have been half the field there. So they get 3 wide for the lead here. Matt Grimm up top. It is Seth Gregory, or excuse me, Greg Chandler in the middle, and Heimbaum down low. And oh my gosh, Greg Chandler just clips Matt Grimm. Matt Grimm has had some horrendous luck this year. Gets clipped by the new guy and collects the top 4, and then some. Matt Grimm's luck just amazes me. So, your leader is, you know, from what Cletus said earlier this past weekend, if you cause the wreck, you're usually not in it, and so far that is the case. It is Greg Chandler, your leader. Oh, and that's gonna, it's gonna hurt Matt Grimm a ton here. He's gonna be able to get back out there, and he looked very smooth. And this track is plenty wide to where he'll be able to make some moves. But my goodness, the 2 guys who he did not need to get through that did exactly that. Pace truck is still out on the speedway. My, oh my. Coming to 1 to go, I believe, this time by, unless the caution is extended. Yes, 1 to go. Greg Chandler, your leader. Henry Fence in 2nd. Kyle Smith having a great run in the 3rd position. Aiden Thornberry, another great run so far, in 4th. And it is Lockie Phillips in 5th. Kyle Dersham in 6th. Mason Heimbaum 7th. Gavin Chatham in 8th. Trent Curtis 9th. Matt Vita for 10th. And Matt Grimm in 11th. As we are back to racing here in Charlotte. And the Evolution guys are pulling away. You can kind of visually see the gap they're going to put on the rest of this field right now as Henry Finson is working the bottom of the racetrack. This place looks multi-groove tonight, I'll tell you that. As the caution is back out. Looks like it's going to be Aiden Thornberry involved in this one, who is just up there, running, inherited a lot of positions, starting out of his night super, super well. Oh man, and you know, yeah, that's probably going to be on the 6 car. I don't think Mason Heimbaum could have gone any lower on that racetrack. He was right on the inside tires there, and not a ton that he could have done. So tough break for Mason, or for Aiden Thornberry. Thinking about Logan when I mentioned his name. 1 to go. Greg Chandler, still your leader. Henry Fenson, second. Kyle Smith, still in third, having a great run so far throughout this one, as we have completed. It's like 5 laps. May not be 1 to go quite yet. I believe now we've got that. Greg Chandler is still your leader in that number 94 car. And you got to wonder if Lockie Phillips is going to get by Kyle Smith for this third position to get a team podium, as we're back to racing here in Charlotte. Here comes Lockie Phillips for the third position on the high side. He's going to take that away from Kyle Smith. That's what we just talked about. Evolution Sim Sport now 1, 2, 3 in this event. And he's going to try to get that second position away from Henry Fenson. This is your points battle right here. As right now, again, neither of these guys want a heat. Here comes Henry Fenson, digging down the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get by his teammate Greg Chandler. Top 3, top 4 really spread out right now. Mason Heimbaum in the 4th spot. Kyle Smith trying to hang on for that 5th position. Give a call to this guy who hasn't really been up front a lot this season. He is doing a good job taking advantage of this position, trying to fight for that 5th, to hang on to that 5th spot from Kyle Gershom. Doing a real good job. As we have missed it, the battle for the lead. Apologies, guys at home, but Henry Fenson has taken that race lead from Greg Chandler. Looks like the bottom of the racetrack is really coming to play. This track is changing a lot right now. We always ask where the best groove really is, and you know, tonight I think it's just an evolving thing. I think that's why they call these guys Evolution Sim Sport, because they just know how to evolve. Greg Chandler might be fading just a little bit, working the bottom of that racetrack, really getting into the way low part, almost into the tires down there. Kind of into that slick, as he's going to lose the second position almost till Lockie Phillips. Battle for second. Lockie Phillips on the top of the racetrack, really working that cushion up there. He's going to get another run. Not going to make it work this time by. Now he's got that call for turn number 2. Lockie Phillips going to try to chase down Henry Fenson, and this is not going to be good for Lockie Phillips' hopes for a championship, unless he can try to get to Henry Fenson. But Henry Fenson's really trying to pad his championship lead on Lockie Phillips. He knows what his teammate is capable of, winning many races so far this season. But Henry Fenson trying to get that second win of the year to add to his victory at the Williams Grove Speedway just a few weeks ago. Lockie Phillips very consistent at the top of the racetrack. You see a lot of these guys working the bottom, and he's closing right now. He is really working his way to that race lead. He was about a second and a half off, and he's chomping it down. He is now around a second. Probably going to knock off a little bit more this time by. Down to half a second in the middle of that corner there. And he is coming. Coming to just 12 laps to go. As here comes Lockie Phillips. Banging that outside wall. Got this thing down to just half a second. And there is a new contender for third position. Mason Heimbaum has made his way into the third spot. But here comes Lockie Phillips on the high side. Committed to ripping the top. Henry Finson committed to ripping the bottom. Which line is going to prevail as we have got 10 laps to go this time by? Here comes Lockie Phillips trying to work his way back into the championship. Work his way back into the race lead. Side by side going into turn number 3. And off the forward, Lockie Phillips is going to lead that one with just 9 to go. What can Henry Finson do? Does Henry Finson adjust? Does he continue to work the bottom and hope that it starts to come in a little bit with 8 laps to go? He is not giving up yet. Still side by side. Coming to 7 laps to go. He's not done yet, guys, but I'll tell you that 17 is looking good. And not making any adjustments. Henry Finson says, this is my line. You're not going to take it from me. 6 to go. What can Finson do? Starting to work his way to the top now. Oh, big time contact with the wall. 5 laps to go. Sound like maybe Lockie Phelps is in the wall as well. He's going to pull away though. And without a caution, I think this is Lockie Phillips' race to lose. Mason Heimbaum, great run in the 3rd position. Kyle Smith has done is still doing a fantastic job holding on to 4th. Has gotten by Greg Chandler for that position. And again, Greg Chandler having a great debut here tonight. As we come to just 2 laps to go, is there anything Henry Finson can do? Or is he going to sacrifice a few points of his championship lead to his teammate Lockie Phillips? White flag this time by Lockie Phillips. A dominant season so far. Trying to get this championship lead back through 3 and 4. From bottom to top, Lockie Phillips is going to win it at Charlotte. Henry Finson 2nd, Mason Heimbaum in 3rd, Kyle Smith with a season best run in 4th. Greg Chandler on his debut will finish 5th. Matt Grimm, a grim night for him. Absolutely. Stuck in the back, recovers to 6th. Trent Curtis 7th. Kyle Dersham falls back to 8th. Matt Wiedefer falls to 9th. Gavin Chatham in 10th. And Aiden Thornberry with those issues early on will round out the field in 11th. My goodness. This is going to be a championship to pay attention to, folks. Let's get a hold of some guys. As we wait for some guys to enter the media center. Man, we got a lot to look forward to these next few weeks. Cedar Lake is going to be big. This is going to be a big night, and I can tell you that Lockie Phillips has knocked off at least 15 points into that championship gap that he needs to make up. So he'll be, he's gone from 55 to roughly 40 out, and that's before the bonus points. We'll see how it shakes out, and hopefully we will see. I'll get some results for you if Trent and Matt Vidafer will upload those. All right, let's talk to our winner. Lockie Phillips, do you have us?
Yeah, got you.
Man, talk about a statement run from you tonight. Had kind of didn't have the greatest finishing or heat, but man, you made up for it in the feature there. Walk us through that one.
Oh, that was tough, man. Thought I had lost it there at the start with that big crash. I went down to the grass and just ran over the grass, and then went to go back out on the track, and I planted it to get back out, and span out on the grass, and I'm like, oh, there goes my race. I'm going to get put rear field for that, but it put me back. I think it put me back to 5th, so it wasn't too hard behind Kyle there, and can't remember the other driver, but yeah, and I'm like, oh, I could just pass these guys on the top, do what I know. Yeah, got that, got into 3rd there, just kept winding up, really. Just tried to hit the same line, get more consistent at that and smoother, and eventually caught Greg and passed my teammate. Yeah, and good to have Greg on for the first time in the league race. So yeah.
And speaking of that early on incident with Greg and all the leaders, what was it? How'd you navigate yourself through that one?
Oh, I just seen a whole cluster right up near the fence, and one car was turned around, and I'm like, yeet straight to the bottom, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to hit the tyre if I go this line, so I'm going to have to cut the grass, and I cut the grass and then spun out getting back on the track. So I thought my race was done, but and then found that line as I was just saying, and passed Greg, and then eventually caught Henry, and I knew Henry was at the bottom, was in Henry was going to be gone, but that line dissipated, and got around Henry on the top, and then just I don't think I set sail, but he was behind me still.
Well, I'm gonna say you set sail because you used that top to get through the wreck, and then you stuck to it the rest of the race. You were absolutely flying on the top of that racetrack, and I don't think anybody else was really utilizing it as much as you were. What can you tell us of what you were doing up there to just gain so much speed?
I was just running that where the group was in turn 1 and 2, and then I was just running slider through the slick up to the grip and then out, and just trying to focus on that. And I wasn't really running the wall, just running the grip there just under the marbles, really. So, I tried the marbles right up near the fence, but I don't know, just couldn't hit it smoothly, so it just went back to the grip.
You're in second in points right now, and you have made up, I'm going to say, at least 15 points on your teammate Henry Finson. 3 races to go here. What do you think your odds are of trying to catch him as we go to Cedar Lake, Lernerville, and Port Royal?
I'm just going to have to do what hopefully I start better than I did tonight. Qualifying was a bit average, but just going to have to put my head down, bum up like I did in the feature race, and just, try and claw those points back and get this championship that I've been waiting 4 years for.
Well, we're looking forward to watching you try to claw your way back. It's going to be a good battle. So, great win tonight, great statement win, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Henry and Greg in Discord and all the boys at Evolution Sim Sports, ABR Setup Shop, Graham Electrical and Data, Premium Designs, Catalyst and Computers, Skid Kings, JJNSC Racewear, iRacing Down Under, Premium Photography, and Down Under Sim TV, you guys for the broadcast, and you do a good job each week, and Trent and Matt for the league.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. That is Lockie Phillips. Yep, see ya. Lockie Phillips, your race winner. Like he said, just going to have to claw his way back into this championship, and he has started that tonight. Well, let's talk to that points leader, Henry Fenson. Henry, you got us.
I got you. How you going?
Hey, we're great, man. Listen, great run from you tonight. Walk us through, what it was like leading that race and how you got to the spots that you finished.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I ran the bottom in the warm up and it was no good, and I thought, nah, bottom won't be there yet. I'll just run the top. And then Mason shot up the inside, and I went, all right, I'll go to the bottom. Luckily, that caution came out, and yeah, I just needed a few green flag laps to get the hang of it, and figure out what the actual line was. And once I got that figured out, it's pretty cruisy. I think everyone was running the bottom at that point, so it disappeared really quick. And then I'm watching at my relative, and I'm hearing in Discord that Lockie's got a run, so trying to find a new line on the bottom to make work. Just couldn't quite figure it out. I didn't want to go to the fence and bin the car. There's probably about 15 laps left still. So, just try to make the bottom work. He got by me in the end. Didn't want to fall back any further, so I just tried to follow him around the top. And, pretty happy with P2. Still got the lead for now, but he's going to be a lot closer.
Yeah, it will. You got this lead for the time being with 3 races to go, and I did ask Lockie, how he felt about his chances of getting this championship lead with Cedar Lake, Lernerville, and Port Royal to go. What do you think? How do you like your odds at those 3 tracks of retaining this points lead?
I like Cedar Lake. Lockie will probably smoke me at Lernerville and Port Royal, so hopefully Cedar Lake can something happen. He doesn't finish second, would be nice, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Lernerville's tricky. That can take away any fast guy with one simple mistake. But yeah, Port Royal's his track, so I need to make sure I've got a good gap by then, or I might be in trouble.
For sure. Back on tonight, it seemed like not just you, but you and Lockie, and about everyone in the field, no one was really trying, I don't want to say trying different things, but everyone was very committed to the line they were running. Is that something that's unique to Charlotte with the red clay? Is that with the configuration of the racetrack itself? Is it more difficult to go and search and find something here? Because it seemed like everyone really wanted to try to make the line they were working work for them.
Yeah, it was kind of hard. So especially when I tried to go to the top from the bottom after Lockie passed me, it took me about a lap and a half just to get up to speed, just trying to carry the momentum through the slick and actually hit the lines and get to where you need to be while keeping the downforce on the wing. I think it was sort of, you just had to find the right line where you could get in, hit the slick, and then drive out of it through the slick. And there were just sort of points you wanted to aim for. I don't think you could really differ too much out of those lines. If you wanted to search, you kind of had to change your momentum, change a lot of things, and try and search for a different line. I think because we were green for so long, everyone was just trying to, hold on and hit their marks. I think if we had some restarts and some sliders and stuff, it might have made people search more. But I think I enjoyed less yellows tonight. It was good fun just putting hard laps in.
Speaking of yellows, last question for you. How did you get through that wreck up in lap, I believe, 2 of the race? You were, I think, one of the few that squeaked through there. Walk us through that one.
Lucky, I got a 2x but no damage. So I was following Mason pretty closely at that point, and I was watching him push up out of the corners. I thought, man, if someone comes off that fence, it might get ugly. And then as they were coming out of 2, I thought Mason was just a bit too high, so I just started turning down a bit, and then I saw Matt's car get a bit sideways, so I went left as hard as I could, and just survived, came out P2 at that point. So very lucky, but I was glad I was paying attention.
Absolutely. Well, great run tonight. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks. See you then.
That is Henry Fenson, points leader, runner-up, and going to be battling for this championship with his teammate as we are just 3 races to go. Well, let's pull up Mason Heimbaum here. Mason, you got me.
What's up?
Hey.
Man, I've been for this for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, I know, man. You've been very consistent, I believe, here recently. You've really came on here tonight. You're really, throughout the season, you're really starting to show your colors, show these Evolution Sim Sport guys that you're around as well. So, walk us through tonight and how you got to third place.
Yeah, so started 7th, and on the start, I was like, I just thought I just try to do what Henry always does and just go to the bottom, and it worked really well. I got all the way up to, I believe it was basically almost battling for the lead until the big wreck happened, and then I was just kind of just ended up slowly picking my way back through the field.
Yeah, I asked Henry Fenson about well, first of all, the wreck. How'd you get through that?
Well, I didn't, but so from my perspective, I saw the gap between Matt and second place, and I was like, I could probably squeeze a slider in there. So I went to go down, and I was looking to my right, and I was like, I better hold off a little bit. And as soon as I thought that Matt came flying in, and I clipped his back bumper. I completely thought it was 100% my fault until I looked at the replay and saw someone clipped Matt off of 2.
Yep, I remember that now. My bad. Yeah, that is true. But you were able to recover from that, so good job on that front, being able to claw back. You had mentioned really wanting to stick to the bottom, and again, something else I had asked Henry is that was this a track that you really wanted to commit to a single line throughout the race? Is it something to do with this racetrack specifically where you might not want to jump around? What are your thoughts on that?
Charlotte is an interesting track like that, because if you jump out of line, out of the fast groove, you're going backwards really quick. So you might be really hesitant to change the lines. But today, I feel like I was changing my line pretty often. Like I started at the bottom, then I started running like the top. I even started doing like a diamond line, and towards the end, I was running like a Frankenstein line. So I felt like I was kind of all over the place trying stuff.
Yeah, I definitely saw that from you and a lot of guys tonight. Going into these last few races, we have got Cedar Lake. Sorry, I'm drawing like Cedar Lake, Lernerville, and Port Royal. Championship might be a long shot for you here. But what do you think about your odds of having some good runs here the next few weeks?
Yeah, those Henry and Lockie they're just about untouchable. I feel like I was catching them toward like the last couple laps, but they're very consistent, very fast. It's gonna be extremely tough to catch them, and I'm gonna be very lucky if I ever have a chance.
Well, you're definitely knocking on the door, so don't beat yourself too much. So thanks for your time, great run, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, thank you.
That is Mason Heimbaum, your third place finisher. Well, this has been a great one tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. We have got a lot of actions coming up here in the next few weeks. Again, like we have mentioned, Cedar Lake, Lernerville, and Port Royal to round out these next 3 weeks of TCR Sprint Car Series racing. Yeah, this is going to be a battle. This is going to be huge. So make sure to tune in next week here on Grease Vision. Same time and place. And we will enjoy this one. So thank you all for tuning in for the TCR Sprint Car Series and Grease Vision. I am Davis Warren. We will catch you next week at Cedar Lake Speedway. Good night, everybody.